Happy Sunday. How we doing?
We got some nice stuff planned for you guys. I hope you guys are ready. This is typically what we do on Master on Sundays team. We're letting you guys get a little bit of a sneak peek into it. We have a lot of cool things to talk about, some updates that I think all of you Master guys are aware of with the new Trading View stuff. That's going to be rolling out to everybody pretty soon. I think that's going to be really cool for everybody to have
Yeah.
access to. Um,
We just have to link up with Andy today. Make sure we say the right things the first time, because if not, he perseverates and starts to vibrate
and
and
then
then
you guys
gets all
freak out.
sweaty and then like starts yelling at me and then I yell back and then STV is like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm like, everybody relax.
I'm wearing a pearl necklace.
I don't have it on right now. I can put it on. Where is it? I got it here. Where is it? Where are my pearls at? Oh, I don't know where they are. Oh, they're right here.
Oh man.
Got them.
All right. So STV.
Yes.
All right. What I want you to do, I want you to lead the way. And by the way, let's give thoughts and prayers to Kenny Yu. His
Yeah.
wife had a horrible accident.
Yeah.
And we're all just happy she's safe and unhurt, unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Kenny Yu, you ain't going nowhere, brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, thoughts and prayers to you and your family, man. Okay. So STV, I want you to go ahead, share your screen, take it away on the
Mm-hmm.
traffic lights, on the daily and the 4 hour.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and talk about the power you have at your fingertips. Then we'll
Mm-hmm.
jump into the charts and show you like how to read it and then set it up. Now, STV has color coded things,
I
which
have.
is kind of cool.
Yeah, it
Right.
makes more sense when you guys see the video. I'll probably release the video to you guys right after this. So we'll briefly touch on the stuff that's in the video, but there's a lot more in-depth stuff going on when we talk about the video. It's a lot of support and resistance things because you guys, again, there are certain things that you guys get about it, but there are certain questions that I see over and over and over and over that are all answered in that video. So that'll be a really good one. You guys all need to be paying attention to, especially going into this week with the craziness that we're going to see with Powell.
Disclaimer. What we're about to show you is an additional tool that you will have in your toolbox.
Mhm.
But please use common sense and understand Powell can literally set the market one way or another. So what may be puts might turn into calls, and what might be calls might turn into puts. We don't know.
Yep.
Okay.
It makes
What
no sense to be establishing any swing positions before Wednesday or until honestly before Thursday. After Powell speaks, then we can see which way the market wants to go. What we're going to talk about here is a little bit of swing trading stuff and using levels on these longer time frames. But if you guys then go decide and willy-nilly some of these tickers that we're going to talk about before, we're not doing it. So I don't know. It doesn't follow the strategy. It doesn't make any sense. And again, like we say with swing trading, you have to be aware of when the big news events are coming out. If I see anybody fucking themselves off of a swing trade that they decided to go into Powell, I honestly don't want to hear it. Okay. Now that that's being said, let's go over it. So
let's show
this
your
is the
chart.
SPY here. Now, I've now color coded this for me, and we talk about why this is in the video. So just for now, what I'm going to say about it is yellow is anything you see in yellow here is a level from the daily. Anything you see in red is a level from the 5-minute over the last few days. And anything in blue is a level on the 4-hour time frame. So if you guys look at the daily here, we have a level, we have a level, we have a level. You switch this thing to the 4-hour right here. You can see these blue levels, level right here, level right here. And then you can switch this down to the 5-minute, and then you can see the different levels that I have plotted out going into this week. Color coding it, I think, is going to help a lot of you guys out. And again, that video is going to take care of everything for you. But like we were talking about the other day, you can swing based off of levels, but that's not really what we want to talk about here. We want to talk about traffic lights and how you guys are able to use these for swinging. So I want to go through the workflow a little bit of how I do this, and Gabe does it the exact same way. So what I'll do is I will look through this list here. I'll just continually look through and find tickers that I know well. T-Mobile, liquid options chain. We know that thing can move. Okay, cool. What else do we have? TBT, that's the inverse of TLT. That's one to keep a look at out for going into this week with Powell. Beto, very interesting one. Bitcoin, with the way Bitcoin's moving this weekend, that could be an interesting one too. Disney, and then we just go through the tickers. So let's just see. So we go over here and let's type in T-Mobile and take a look at this thing on the daily. T-Mobile. Throw this thing on the daily. How does it look? Okay, well, T-Mobile has a daily traffic light to the downside. Cool. Traffic light to the downside. This is what we're looking at here. Now, this is a very aggressive candle. That is 4% to the downside. So what would we be looking at here in order for us to have a good understanding of if we want to trade T-Mobile? Well, remember from all those other swing trading videos that we made, the minimum time that you're going to be getting on these contracts is 3 months. 3 months on the daily. Ideally, you want to go 4, 5, or 6. The 4 hour, you can get away with getting a little bit less time on them, especially if you're using the TUH strategy, which I think Gabe wants to touch on with you guys. But now that we've seen this T-Mobile chart, it does look like this thing could easily come back down. But you have that 200 EMA down below, 142.40. What would we be looking for? Well, a retest and then a 5-minute traffic light to the downside in basically confluence with what we're seeing on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. So you look at this on the daily, traffic light down. You look at this on the 4-hour here, also has a traffic light to the downside. The 4-hour looks a little bit better with these closing candles below the 200. This is why we have to look at all of the different time frames. If you just looked at the 4-hour here, you'd be like, it doesn't look that bad. You got this first closing candle, decent trade here. Okay, let's see. Top of this candle to the bottom, 145.06. Down to the closing, 143.73 or 143.90. Not a bad trade there. But you have this giant level on the daily here at the 200 EMA that you need to contend with at 142.40. So that would be something to be aware of. More time is going to help you out with this and following along with the daily and the 4-hour time frame. Now let's do another one. So you go over here, you take a look through some of these. What do we see? Beto. Let's just take a look at Beto, the Bitcoin ETF. Beto. ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. Okay, this looks very interesting. You see it have a nice solid traffic light to the upside here, comes down, retest the 200 with a traffic light down. Again, going back on that T-Mobile example, look, traffic light down, but it's right next to these levels, the 48 EMA and the 200 EMA on the daily. You would need that clean break here in order for this thing to really get going to the downside. But you found support and you're starting to move back up. I don't hate this, but again, remember everybody that's filtering in, Powell's Wednesday, don't do anything fucking stupid. I'm going to keep reiterating that because if you do it and you screw yourself over, I don't want to hear it. Honestly, we're going over these for examples for you guys to make sure that you understand how the swinging works and how to use these alerts. It doesn't mean you have to take them every single day. You honestly shouldn't. You should be waiting for that low-hanging fruit with the swing trades.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to minimize your screen really quickly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to my screen. And we're going to use T-Mobile as an example. Okay, so with T-Mobile, let's go ahead and get some... Oh, shit. We got to change it. Who the hell? You guys are seeing your own chat here. We got to go. Wait. Let me go to settings here. 1 second. I'll get it back to my pretty face. Yeah. SJV, say something funny while I fix this.
Hi!
Jesus Christ.
I knew you were going to like it.
Oh, man. 1 second. We'll get this changed up so we get on the chart. All right, cool. And let me minimize this here. All right, cool beans. Okay, so we got a traffic light to the downside, right? And I like this. I like looking at the 4-hour because it sort of kind of like gives us a clue as to how to play the 5-minute, right? Because we got the traffic light pre-market to the downside. And of course, it just died and it led into the daily cross down. But if you were looking at this on the 5-minute, you would say, oh, okay, traffic light down. I know it's going down. And guys, it didn't, well, it breached the 24 here, broke back down, it kept on going, broke the 24 once again, kept on going, broke the 24 once again. The thing is all of these trades where again you could have closed your position to be safe, re-entered at the break below the 24, and done that about 4 times, and you would have rode T-Mobile all the way down,
Mhm,
courtesy of the 4,
mhm,
right? You have a general idea where the trend is, so you don't wanna go ahead and start playing 5-minute upside if you got the 4-hour telling you, like, "Hey, we're dying here,"
mhm,
okay? And, yeah, I like that genie there. So let's go ahead and look at it on the daily as STB covered. You do have this level here, 142.40. Now, these are things you need to be aware of, especially this week. Now, if you went into the market tomorrow and said, okay, well, I'm going to play T-Mobile to the downside, but my thesis is based on a 5 minute, you should be okay.
mhm,
But if you're playing it on a Powell week, I mean, you just really think about it. You got a couple of things working against you, right? You got Powell that can move the market any which way, and
mhm,
you have the 200 EMA there. So even though you live on the 5, you're still going to respect this 200 EMA here
mhm,
on the 5. And this is the importance of drawing out that level the way STV does. I use blue pill lines here, but I have a level there. Then I go on over to the 5, and then I say, okay, well, how much room do I have to run, right? Now, obviously, the level is not printing on a 5 just yet, so I have some room to move to the downside here.
mhm,
Just again, keep those levels color coded for your safety, please,
mhm,
for your safety. Um, yeah, and you know what? This is a move that's very, very realistic. I mean, it's a dollar 50 move from currently where it's at
mhm. I
to
would
where
wait up
that
for a
level
retest.
is.
That's a giant candle. That's a 4% candle.
Uh,
So
yeah.
at some point this week, this thing could easily rally back up, test that 48. Now, again, this is us thinking out loud. This is not saying we're actually going to do it. This is if it wasn't a Powell week, how would I look at this? I'd be looking at T-Mobile and saying, okay, that 48 is hanging out there. If we see a retest of the 48 in a rejection, then a 5-minute traffic light, oh, I'm all over that. All over it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm liking it on a 4 more than I am on the daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if your thesis is on the daily, guys, remember 3 to 6 months of expiration on those. Those are that's where you want to be with daily swings. You don't want to be fucking around with next week contracts because you feel like you're going to be right now. That's how you blow up accounts. Don't do that. But we can take a look at some more. I want to make sure that you guys understand the workflow for this. Like there are so many of these, but identifying which ones are decent and not are a very, very, very powerful thing. And this is the other thing that we got to think about too. If I see the SPY at 418, 420 after Powell and it's kind of losing some steam, I'm looking for shorts. You could see things starting to traffic light up on the daily, but if the market gets overcooked in one direction, I'm not going to try and FOMO in at the top. It doesn't make sense. The market is going to ebb and flow in all of these different directions. You're not going to see it just like moon mission up to like 440. Like that's very, 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 very unlikely that that happens. So if we start to see the market get overcooked to the upside, you have to use that market context and say, okay, well, the market's probably going to come down now too. A lot of these different tickers are overcooked. I'm going to start hunting downside. It doesn't have to be that day. It doesn't even have to be that week. Swing trades, guys, you have to be a little bit more patient with them. I know some of you guys are used to taking 3, 4, 5, 6 trades in a day. You might take 5 swing trades in a month, maybe less, maybe one. You're
Yeah.
hitting that low hanging fruit and saying, okay, this chart looks good. I'm giving myself enough time and I'm going to execute accordingly.
There you go. Also, I'm looking at this on the daily here with the SPY, and if we use the 357 cadence, it's 1, 2, where's 3? Now, what could easily happen here is currently the SPY is at 415.93. We don't know what's going to happen pre-market. Maybe it starts as move to the downside pre-market, but I am in agreement with STV with the SPY. So we go ahead and we're looking at this. You do have that level. That level is only $2.34 away.
Mhm.
STV, that's an easy move for the SPY on the daily.
Oh, I could do that in 2 seconds. What's your level at? What, 418.04?
I have 418.31.
Oh, yeah, same thing. Yeah, mine. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just, I just drew
Yeah.
the level a couple cents off.
All right. So Tanel Jones goes the last daily light on the SPY. Where would I have entered?
I
Uh,
wouldn't have. I will never swing the SPY for a variety of reasons. Here's why. And I feel like this is very self-evident. But for some of you guys, it just may not be. Since SPY has expiration dates every single day, and it has proven to be very, very volatile. Every single time you add expiration dates, the premiums get more expensive. If you go further out, they're always going to get a little bit more expensive. So if you get 2 weeks out on the SPY at the money, that's going to be really expensive. You get a month, it's going to be really expensive. Most of you guys probably can't trade that. Single stocks are going to give you those retests that you want. And the SPY may not. That's the other thing too. Like Tanel, if you don't see the retest on the SPY, wasn't for you. The trade wasn't for you. Find something that does meet your setup. When we're in the market, guys, we're looking for our setup. We're not looking for anything else. We're saying this is what we are attempting to do. If the market doesn't say yes, go time, then we're not doing it. Can we look at the TLT alert? I was talking to Gabe about that
Yeah.
earlier.
We'll get
Um,
into that in a second, but what
yeah,
I want to do is actually just illustrate to now and pretty much anybody because we can go on over to the Nvidia trade and highlight an entry as well.
yeah.
But if you're in on the SPY and you're looking at this traffic light on the daily, right? Now check this out. When you get a traffic light on the daily, the market's already closed,
hmm
right? So now you have to go ahead and enter on
I mean, you would have gotten an entry on the SPY there on a 5-minute traffic light to the upside.
you would have
But
gotten
again,
one.
I'm still not swinging SPY. It doesn't make sense for me to do it.
It no. The thing is that you could literally play the momentum intraday, enter into your position, ride her up, right? Use the 24 as your risk. Make sure you're done by the end of the day. You
hmm
could do that, and then recalibrate the very next day, as opposed to, holding for that swing, right? The thing is if we go to the daily here, right? If this was any other stock, right? If this was any other stock, I honestly, and if I'm playing the daily and I'm like, I'm just gonna buy my contracts, this is gonna be 3 to 6 months out, right? I'm gonna set that 200 as my level of risk,
Exactly.
right? And if you're uncertain of that, again, you go the very next day and you live on a 5 and you just go ahead. And of course, you're using your 24 as a risk, right? And in fact, you would probably this is actually an opinion of mine as to be let me know if you concur. But when you get a traffic light, that is a momentum shift, right?
hmm
And so when you get a momentum shift, you were coming down, you were coming down, full momentum, then you got a shift, right? So you have that shift and that transition where it takes time for that momentum to start picking up,
Yeah.
right?
You're gonna see a little bit of fuckery before it continues, and that's why 3 to 6 months of time on the daily.
And that's why on the first day of that transition, I'll live on the 5.
Yeah, I'll scale in too. Like there will be days where I just like have a starter position, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start scaling into this position now. I have an idea of what the size that I want on that trade, and that's the initial size is like how Gabe does. It's probably a quarter, quarter, quarter. I'll
Yeah.
just slowly scale in at price points that I like, and again using that 5 minute as my entry.
Using the 5 minute as an entry. Now I want to go ahead and let's talk about Nvidia on the daily. Someone got pissed about that.
Yeah, so this was a levels play. This is slightly different than traffic light, but this is a levels play. So I think I still have it on my Nvidia chart on the daily. Let me look. Yeah, I do. Let me do this. So this is Gabe. You want to share this?
Yeah, bring it up.
So this is what we were looking at on Nvidia right here, guys. So let me zoom in so this makes it easier for you guys to see. This is the daily on Nvidia. What has Nvidia been doing after it had this pretty aggressive moon mission from the last daily traffic light. Again, guys, for those of you guys that, I mean, this is on the Trade 1348 channel. For those of you guys that aren't trading with the traffic lights yet, I don't know what you're doing at this point. Look at this move on Nvidia. Breaks up above the 200, 168.98. You can even ride this thing up to here, up to 209. That's a giant move. Then the giant gap up, if you were able to scale out of your position and ride this thing all the way up to the highs here at 280. That is massive. We've seen it on Tesla. We've seen it on Baba. We've seen it on so many stocks. But after this moon mission to the upside here, what have we seen? Consolidation in this channel that we have here. Okay, so you see Nvidia test, bounces back up, test, bounce back up, test, up, test, up, test. This is the one that we want you guys to pay attention to. So this is where Gabe and I started entering our Nvidia call positions. Now, why is that? This is a slightly different way to swing trade. And like I showed you guys in that swing trading video with the $2,300 in a day, is even when stocks are consolidating like this in this range, you can still make money on them. Like, I know Gabe doesn't want to talk about it a lot, but like Gabe made fucking a giant amount of money that day off of this in the consolidation zone. So then, okay, so this is the daily chart. Now I'm going to change some of these and color code them. Let's actually do that right here. Because the daily ones are going to be yellow. And I'll go over, again, that video coming out later for you guys is going to tell you guys exactly why. But okay, so let's go back to the day that Gabe and I bought this. Here, what do we see? Tick, 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 tick. Test a level, bounces right back up. So this is where we start to enter our call positions. We start to enter here. It's looking good. It's chopping around. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, you get that weird, nasty move at the end of the day, but that's not really scaring us here. It's like the last couple minutes of the day. Could we have ditched it? Yeah, but again, looking at that Nvidia chart on the daily, we've seen it a few times just bait below. That's the weekly. I don't care. We've seen it a few times bait down below and then comes right back up. Baits down below a little bit, comes right back up. Baits down below, comes right back up. Baits down below, comes right back up. So yeah, this level actually could have been a little bit lower here, but that was the entry. It was off of a level. Now, if the very next day we saw Nvidia down in here, we would have been out. That's where the risk is. Big daily opening, closing candle down below there, we're out. But that's not what happened. We drilled it. Same thing with that Baba trade that I was talking to you guys about too. Look at Baba. Baba, same deal. Off the daily, coming down, consolidating at this level here. Or this is the 4 hour, but we can, because this is a daily level. But looking at this on the 5-minute time frame, what do we see on Baba here? Okay, going back to a couple of these entries that I was looking at. Baba's knife, 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 knife. Oh, look, there's a level from the daily. Boom, right back up. Nice little gap up here. Cool. This is where I exited the first Baba position. Then we see it start chopping around at this level again. You see it flash down, 5-minute traffic light to the upside. It's somewhere in here. I think it was here where I started scaling into my position as it started approaching this level with a 5-minute traffic light to the upside. So guys, all my entries on swings are always 5-minute traffic lights. Always, 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 always.
Love it, love it, love it, and love it. Going back to that Nvidia trade, though, there's something we ought to look at. And the thing is that STV explained it perfectly on the daily, right? But I was living on that 4 there. That's really that I was living on that 4 there, right? So, guys, I want you to look at Nvidia on the 4 hour, and I want you to tell
Well,
me when.
hold on, the 4-hour level is it's that. Okay, so you see that giant green and 4-hour engulfing?
Yep.
We were entering right on that candle.
Yes, we were. It was fucking
So I think it
gorgeous.
was let me look at the exact one because you can see the 4-hour level print and that's what we bought off of. Let me see. So it's the candle at Tuesday the 25th, 1600.
Let's see. Right there,
That
yeah.
was the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because we were playing that 262.20 level that we were talking about in the morning.
Exactly.
Right. So that's it. And this led into a traffic light and I exited my position. You get a traffic light to the
Then we
upside,
traded
then
it
you get a
again.
traffic light to the downside, right? But check this out, STV. Look what happened with the EMAs here. They got super tight on the 4 hour, right? Just like the EMAs, if they get super tight on the 1, 3, and a 5 or whatever, if they're on the 4 hour, you see the EMAs braiding like this, you stay away from that play. Okay. The rules apply to every time frame. Okay.
I think that's when I was out of the rest of my Nvidias too, right as that was happening.
Hmm.
Makes sense. Hmm.
So then you go ahead and say, okay, well, we got a traffic light on the 4 hour. When do I enter? Of course, it just goes moonbound. It goes moonbound, you know, into after hours. But what you can do here, what you can literally do here, okay, is this is at 12 o'clock. So we go to Thursday, the 5 minute at 12 o'clock. Let's do this. That's right here. That traffic light to the upside is right here.
Filthy. Filthy.
That's it. We re-enter and we play basically what the 4 hours sort of kind of telling us, but we play it where we're really managing our risk here because a 4 hour candle can be massive,
Mhm.
right? So again, until the play has been fully confirmed on a 4 hour, live on a smaller time frame,
Mhm.
right? And don't be shy. Close your position at the end of the day, right? And then re-enter. That's why we say play with the trend. The next day, it's still mooning. Like, okay, well, I'm going to play the next 5 minute traffic light to the upside, and I'm going to play with the trend, right? Until you start seeing that separation, and then you could identify risk on a 4 hour. And the risk on a 4 hour is basically going to be the 24.
Exactly. Simple.
Simple, right? You guys see here the way, if you guys check out your charts on the 24, on the 4 hour, and the way the candles react to the 24, you will see it is exactly the same, right? Using the 24 to exit a play if you are living on a 4 hour. I don't really live on a 4 hour. I use the 4 hour to help me identify the trend, right?
I use the 4 hour as more so confirmation for the daily, which is a
Exactly.
weird thing to say because it's a shorter time frame. But I do use it to like have an extra level of confluence for a daily swing.
Yeah, I like it. Uh, So let's see. Okay, I think I'm ready for the masterclass now. Woohoo! Love these charts.
Oh, you guys should see the other streams that we've done with you guys in here. It's fucking nuts. This is just the tip of the iceberg, guys.
Oh, very much the tip of the iceberg. So, okay. So, why are we covering this? Well, if you
It's
guys
cool.
saw, it's gonna help you calm down, especially when you use the test strategy.
Mm.
You size really, really, really small. You play out of the money, give yourself time, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Like on the 4 hour, you could get 3 weeks to expiration, a little bit out of the money, and be only in with 1% of your account. You hit that play, boom, you drilled it.
yes, yes. And there's a reason why we don't want you guys doing that on a shorter time frame. And this is something where you guys can open up your Weibo account. I'm actually going to talk about this in the video today, right? Where we talk about risk management. And we could use NVIDIA, for example, and
Mhm.
we can look at its options here. And let's say 5 days from now, you are looking at 282. There's a level at 281,
Mhm.
right? So let's say we're going to do 282 calls. As it stands right now, the delta is 0.29, which tells me as it stands within 5 days, I have about a 29% probability of hitting that strike with
Mhm.
the delta. But as we give ourselves more time, let's say we go 19 days out, and I go back to the 282s, right? I can go ahead and buy one contract if even, but that delta now goes up to 0.44. You see, look at your deltas, guys, because your delta is an approximation of probability that your contract will expire in the money,
Mhm.
right? And delta is really, really important, especially if you're going to use the 4 hour and the daily, right? You want to know, like, okay, I think it's going to go $10. And we know that Nvidia can go $10 in a day, right? But if you buy that contract, I mean, the delta, the probability within 5 days is just shit. You're really gambling. But if you give yourself time, the odds now come in your favor, right? They're now in your favor. And I talk about this in a video, guys. This video is actually going to be kind of funny. But remember how we talk about risk management? Like how, oh, STV, you're going to like this, right? Okay. So what if I told you, right, that risk management makes you more money than money makes you money?
It does.
Makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Okay. 2008, we had talked about this. Great example. They were making globs of money, a shit ton of money, but that was just money making money. There was no risk.
And then
They,
whoop, gone.
and then it was gone, right? Gone. Now, when we look at the deltas and you see how lopsided it is, like, oh, you have a delta of 0.13. That's high risk for you. That's low risk for them. That's why they love when you take those contracts. That's why you go ahead and give yourself time because they're managing their risk. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you take that bet? So, this is where the test strategy comes in. You get out of the money, but we're going so far out that you're improving your probabilities.
Exactly.
Make myself clear.
Simple.
You guys are good with this? Thumbs up? You learned something? So, I think at the end of the day, you guys, we want you to live on the floor in a daily. Utilize these alerts as well because it's going to calm you down. Playing the test strategy, right? But also know, like realistically, okay, how far out, do I want these contracts to go? Where I have a realistic probability of, printing. Now, we're not saying you're going to hold your contract for 6 fucking months,
No.
right? But if I see that there's a probability of, let's say, 0.4 or 0.5, whatever, usually that's at the money. So that's why we tell you guys to buy like at the money
With more time.
because your deltas are usually 0.5, which means you have a 50% probability at, in that moment in time that your contract's going to expire in the money,
It
right?
can even get higher too, because once you go in the money, it starts to get 1 for 1 because now your contracts have intrinsic value.
Exactly.
So every dollar the stock moves up after that, your options position should, all other things being held equal, increase by $100 at least. You have more
Fucking
time on that? Ooh, it's more than 100.
a lot of fucking money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I just want you guys to start looking at that as well, looking at your deltas, and this is what's going to force you guys to stop doing that risky business,
Mm-hmm.
right? Pay attention to your deltas. There is a reason why we didn't explain. Well, STV actually did a great video explaining, options Greeks, but there was a reason why we would tell you at the money because that's where that the highest probability for you to win.
Everything we tell you guys is for a reason. We're not
For
just
a
talking out of
reason.
our ass. Like,
Like we're not telling you to do this because we're like, and we think it might
it's like,
work.
oh,
It's
this sounds good. It's like, no, it's fucking, this is how you do it.
oh man. So give me another woo, James. Woo.
Woo! Woo!
Um so yeah, again, I think deltas. Okay, so for what we do on the 5 minute, maybe even the 1 minute or 3 minute, what we do on the 5 minute, obviously if we're giving ourselves, Friday's expiration, delta might not play much of a factor because you're literally, you're just playing the move in that moment in time. But it is very, very important if you're going to go 3 to 6 months out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Even 30 days out. Fuck it. It's still very important.
Is Lori has a good question. Is delta important if we're just playing the 1 or 3 minute for a quick trade? There's
I
two
just
things.
answered that.
There's two things. One, you don't really have to worry about it if you're buying the correct strikes. If you're using the TUS strategy, I mean, you just got to make sure that the delta's not like 0.001. Like, don't do anything like 100% out of the money. But when we talk about the Greeks, guys, I will tell you this right now. Gabe and I, when we're trading most of the time, we're not staring at the Greeks. Now, the reason is that one, it's going to give you analysis paralysis. Two, and you guys should at this point too, after all the learnings we've and the things that we've taught you, you know where and where not to get your strikes. Does it make sense to buy contracts 50% out of the money? No. Okay, cool. So don't do that. Like it's very simple things like that. Remember, guys, generalities, not exacts.
For scalping, the Greeks don't mean much.
Yeah, not really. I'd never look at them.
No.
I will. The only time that I will look at it is to just see, if the stock moves $1, how much am I gonna make? Like something like that.
Pretty much.
And I'm already
Pretty
in
much.
it. Like it's like I'll sometimes look at it. Like maybe once or twice a week, I'll look and see what the delta is.
Yeah. But to help you be able to identify if you're getting a good deal or assuming too much risk on a long-term trade, delta is what's going to just tell you everything you need to know.
And you have the time to look at it too.
Yes.
You could establish your position throughout a whole week or a month.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Okay, so Redbird, like at the money, in the money, 0 days. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I know you guys are gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do, but 0 days, it's not for everyone.
No. I'll tell you guys a little story. Gabe and I were on the phone on Friday fucking around with them. But do you know how much money we had in the trades? 0.02% of our accounts.
Yeah.
We were just playing. Like it's not serious.
I want you guys to use the strategy on both extremes. If you're going way out of the money, giving yourself time, you're risking 1% or less. If you're playing 0 days, 1% or less of reward.
Dude, you should never be risking more than 1% of your account on any given trade. And that's almost the max. Like you almost want to be risking 0.5%.
That's it. Size for 0 or size for 0 with 1%, or even fuck that, less than that, half of 1%, right? Because some of these contracts are like $44 fucking dollars, on the 0 day, right? None of you have
those
it.
that we were fucking around with, I think they were $50.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be candid with you guys. We were fucking around with 0 days, and I was on the phone, and I'm like, oh, all right, I just went put side. Oh shit, it just went call side. Oh shit, it just went put side again.
It's gonna move like fucking super quick. Like I was telling Gabe, I was like, all right, I have my stop. This is the one instance where I will use that stop loss take profit order where I was just like, all right, it's set. Like I know what the risk is. Like I was going into the trades with way less than 1% of my account with a stop. So the risk was negligible.
All right. How about ODTE in the money?
They'll move a little bit smoother, but it's still not smart. Like, guys, 0 days are meant to take money from you.
Exactly.
It makes more sense to sell them to people.
Exactly. Go ahead and look at your 0 days, and again, look at deltas. And then look at theta.
There's 2 things that I'm going to teach you guys over the next few months. 1, selling options. 2, futures. I might have a futures video out for you guys this week.
Absolutely. That'd be fun.
There's going to be a lot of like, hey, settle the fuck down. Don't do this until you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So guys, on 0 days to expiration, you have to worry about theta. And even when you're right at the money, right? Theta is the highest at the money. You guys have to understand that. Your delta is probably closest to even, but your theta is also the highest. So when you are playing a 0 day, those Greeks are literally like designed in such a way to just fuck you, right? They're just there to fuck you. And even I stay away from 0 days, but we were doing it on Friday because we were just like
We
having
just have
fucking
fun.
fun.
Some like it's like you guys have to realize like we don't. Anytime we're like entering a 0-day trade, it's not serious.
No,
It's not like a serious trade. It's like it's an educated gamble. Like with what we know that the odds are in our favor. Let's just fuck around a little bit because we know what we're doing.
yeah. Theta works in your favor when you're selling contracts. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And
I'll have some videos on that for you guys. You're gonna need margin accounts, but
yeah, paper trade, paper trade, paper trade. But, guys, when you're paper trading, I want you to paper trade in shares, not in options. Right? This is number one reason, right? Because options are levered, and in some cases, your options data isn't real time, depending on your broker. So when you're paper trading, what you're learning, I want you to focus on the system alone and paper trade the candles.
let's
That's
say this for example. Let's say your options data is 15 minutes delayed, which is possible. Well, that's what a lot of it is on
it.
paper trading. Okay, so you see a 5-minute cross or something.
That's like trading like Obago.
You're trading in the past. Like that's your so the contract is probably actually if you're trading like let's say like a weekly is probably trading at like $1.50, but you're technically buying it at $1. So it's gonna look like you're making 50% when you're not.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, people get the joke. So, anyways, guys, that is it for today. I want you guys to do your homework, play on a 4-hour, play on a daily, look at it.
I got a video for you guys in 9 minutes about it. I hope you guys are ready. This breaks it down in depth with the levels and stuff. I better have go over to my channel next because I got a heater of a video for you guys.
Where's Weeble getting 250K from? Just get it from them other guys. I don't care how they
To
get
pay
it.
out this freaking Regan.
Yeah. I'm in there like Stewie, like from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Do you ever seen that skit where Stewie beats the shit out of Brian?
No, I never watched that show. I probably should have though.
All right, guys. Here's some entertainment. We're gonna load this app.
You're gonna get no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna get a copyright strike. Don't do it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yep. Never mind. Where's my money? So you got my money? This is so fucking hilarious. Let's see. Let's see. Repper trades. I play this chart with Heiken-Ashi candles. Little extras like volume and view up on the 5-minute, 10-minute all at once is fire. Printer at the money machine. Fire. Broken slot machine, baby. Hey, man. If you like Heiken-Ashi, you like Heiken-Ashi. The thing with Heiken-Ashi is it's going to mess up your EMAs a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It is going to mess it up a little bit.
Yeah. So you have money for fake mustaches and not my money? Yes, Miguel. Fucking shoots the dog. I was dying. I was dying. It was one of the greatest moments in television history.
Is it that good?
Dude, what? Okay. You get to
I'll,
piss yourself.
I'll watch it after.
Yeah, watch it after.
I will.
Let's see. Does the masterclass renew once a year? Trying to upgrade.
Yes, once a year.
Yep.
So for all you guys that want to hop in there, this is just a little sneak peek of what we do on Sundays. You get Gabe in the morning, you get me midweek, you get the new charts, everything. You guys want to hop in there? We'd love to have you. We take things to the next level. I mean, we kept it a little bit low. Like we didn't go crazy with some of the stuff that we could have said today, just because we don't want anybody like not understanding and doing anything crazy. But once you guys are in master, I mean, we break stuff down and go nuts with it.
Yeah. So make sure you reach out to Diana if you're also considering, that.
Well,
upgrade.
they can do it on platform now with one click. They just go to subscriptions, click get master, and then they're good to go.
But if they're currently structured lifetime.
Oh, then they have to reach out.
Yeah. Yes. If you're structured lifetime, you have to reach out to Diana. Otherwise, you can just upgrade right inside platform.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're out of here.
Bye. Later. Actually, I'll see you guys in 5 minutes in that video. I mean, I won't, but you'll see me.
That's creepy as fuck.
I know. It's weird that people just like watch you and you're not even there.
Dude, swear. Like when I first moved to Florida, I just had closed on my house. This was back in 2012. I'm a city boy, right? I have no furniture in the house, nothing. And I'm like, all right, I got an air mattress. I'm good, right? And then I look outside, it's pitch fucking black. I got lights on, and I'm just like, I don't have curtains, I don't have nothing. I'm like, if there's a fucking serial killer out there right now, they can see me, but I can't see them. It was the most uneasy night I ever had of a fucking life. Yeah, yeah. When you're a city boy and then you come to the burbs, it's like,
I like being a city boy.
ugh.
City boys, we up. All right.
Miss Champagne Diva, we love to have you. Oh, snap, creepy. Yeah, it is. All right, Mark Hayes. Yes, great points. And we want you guys, make sure you guys replay this video, take down your notes, do what you got to do. Most importantly, respect your port.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's it.